British Airways and Aer Lingus parent group IAG has reported higher revenue and profit for 2018 in its results covering the 12 months to the end of December. The group reported profit after tax and exceptional items of €2.9 billion, an increase of 11% on 2017. Total group revenue of €24.4 billion was 6.7% higher. Willie Walsh, who's CEO of the IAG group, on the publication of its full year results. You're reporting, Willie, against the backdrop of Brexit, higher fuel prices, overcapacity of seats in the European market. It's a survival of the fittest in aviation at the moment.
Yeah, we're pretty fit though, because these are excellent results in the context of the challenges that the industry has faced during 2018 and indeed will face in 2019. But I'm very pleased with the performance of the group. In the case of Aer Lingus, it's been an excellent year. We're delighted with the way the airline is expanding its network on the transatlantic, which has proven to be an excellent decision, and we remain confident about the Aer Lingus plans for further expansion out of Dublin on the transatlantic in 2019 and beyond.
Why was IAG removed from a number of global equity indices this week?
Yeah, it relates to a restriction which has been in our bylaws since we created the company about non-EU shareholders. It's similar to a lot of airlines, and in fact I think people have read across the decision that we made to introduce the maximum permitted non-EU shareholding into other issues. If you look around, a number of airlines have actually done this recently. Wizz, about a year ago, I think Ryanair did it as well. So it relates to a specific issue about airline ownership, which is it's unique to airlines in relation to ownership and control. So it's nothing to do with Brexit. It's just simply an issue that is unique to the airline industry. It doesn't apply to any other industry that I'm aware of.
But in the context of Brexit, isn't it the case that EU airlines that fly in the EU must be owned more than 50% by EU nationals? So has it something to do with that?
No, it's absolutely, as I said, if you look, a number of airlines have actually done this. The timing of this relates to the increase that we saw in our non-EU shareholding, and this was specifically US shareholders buying IAG shares, which pushed up our non-EU shareholding. So it actually has nothing to do with Brexit at all.
And what proportion of IAG shares are held by non-EU nationals at this stage?
No, we don't disclose that. We disclose it to the regulators, but we don't openly disclose it.
Is it close to 50%?
As I said, we don't disclose it, but once it goes close to 50%, we can introduce the maximum permitted. So given that we've introduced the maximum permitted, it would suggest that non-EU shareholders are less than 50%, but probably more than 40%.
The share price took quite a hit on that move from the number of global indices that removed it during the week. That must be concerning.
No, I don't think so. I think these things happen when our companies are included or excluded from various indices. If you look at the fundamental performance of the business, it's excellent. Not only have we announced an increase in our final dividend to be approved by our shareholders, but we've also announced a special dividend, so returning about €1.3 billion of cash to our shareholders in 2019. The airlines are all performing very well, and we're confident about the future performance of the business.
Let's look at some connectivity issues and to look at Brexit. Can we at this stage rule out the possibility of flights being grounded at the end of next month?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've said for some considerable time that won't happen. There is a framework now negotiated and agreed, and the EU have been very clear on this. So flights will continue, and I remain confident that there will be a comprehensive air transport agreement between the EU and the UK. So I can understand why people were expressing concerns over a year ago, but there's been significant progress in the past 12 months, and I think everybody can be relaxed about what will happen in relation to aviation, certainly in the short term, and in the medium to long term. I believe that we'll see comprehensive negotiations which will ensure that aviation continues to contribute to both the UK and EU economies, as it has done for many years.
Looking at Aer Lingus, plans for growth in the market there, any new routes planned for this year?
Well, we have announced Minneapolis, St. Paul and Montreal for 2019. Those routes are facilitated by the delivery of the Airbus A321LR aircraft, which we'll take during the year, and we will be looking at additional new routes that we'll announce for 2020. So the performance of the routes that we announced last year, Philadelphia and Seattle, have been very, very positive. Particularly Seattle, I think it demonstrates once again the amount of investment that's taking place in Ireland. So we're pleased with Aer Lingus' performance.
Willie Walsh, CEO of IAG, thank you very much.